Hello, my friends. My name is Darren Gerdes, and this is the Daily Brief. So yesterday, this is one of the articles that I covered that Defense Forces shoot down another enemy Su-34. It was the 4th of March, 2024, but then it was weirdly not carried here in the 5th of March defense update. It was not, you didn't see another aircraft shot down. I'm not sure what to make of this because I'm just reporting what's out there. I'm not making anything up. I'm just showing you what I have found. So I don't know what to make of that. Okay, the rest of this looks about similar to yesterday. 1070 off the battlefield, and the numbers for combat vehicles and fuel tanks and whatever. Yeah, it looks very similar. So it seems like the momentum is about the same as it was the day before. Okay, this was interesting. Ex-US officer shares classified Ukraine war intelligence on dating site. Okay, here we go again. The arrest of David Slater, who is set to appear in federal court in Nebraska on March 5th, was the latest in a series of embarrassing disclosures of leaks of classified U.S. intelligence. I'm not saying it's good to leak intelligence. I'm saying the guy was duped. He wasn't just trying to show off to his friends. Well, okay, so he was trying to show off to some lady, or maybe a lady, who claimed to be Ukrainian. It's unclear whether Slater, 63, ever physically met the woman, whom prosecutors said identified herself as Ukrainian. And she would say things, text things like, "Dear, what is shown on the screens in the special room? It's very interesting." Or, "Beloved Dave, do NATO and Biden have a secret plan to help us?" The woman wrote on March 18th. This is of 2022. Slater faces up to 10 years in federal prison on each of 3 counts laid out in the indictment. But again, you remember Jack Teixeira admitted to obtaining the information while he worked as an information technology specialist and then sharing it with other users on Discord, social media platform with gamers. And why he did that was because he was trying to show off to his friends that, see, he is somebody significant. Okay, so it was a bad look. Here's the actual indictment. 63 in Lonely, Nebraska, who says sharing classified with an online honey trap is a young man's game. Well, okay. So that's where we are. Now, there were a couple big stories today. So here's the second biggest story. Ukraine's HUR claims responsibility for striking an oil depot in Russia's Belgorod region. Okay, so the main directorate of intelligence, the HUR, the Ministry of Defense, carried out an attack on Russian oil depot in Belgorod region. Russian Telegram channel 112 reported the explosion occurred on Tuesday morning, March 5th. Russian social media suggested a drone strike. Now, they also found something else interesting here. This was over the weekend. Another social media report says an unknown 7-meter-long drone crashed on the territory of St. Petersburg oil terminal in the Leningrad region of Russia on Saturday. The huge drone, with its wing torn off, was found close to Russia's largest Baltic oil transshipment terminal. It contained 20 kilograms of explosives and was discovered on Sunday morning. Now, this is important. The other day I talked about how an apartment building was hit in St. Petersburg by a drone, and there were a number of drones, and apparently they were going after this oil terminal, and it was the same time period that one hit an apartment building. That same day there was a strike on Odessa, and I was saying, see, this is what's happening in Odessa, this is what happened in St. Petersburg, but it's unlike the Ukrainians to be, attacking an apartment building when they can go after an oil depot. Well, apparently they were going after the oil depot. On the night of January 18th, Ukraine attacked St. Petersburg oil depot with drones passing by Russian President Vladimir Putin's Valdai estate on the way. So they've gone after this before, and I would be very nervous. In a number of occupations, if I worked in an oil depot like this in St. Petersburg, I'd be very nervous. If I was part of the Russian Navy in the Black Sea, I'd be extremely nervous. So let's turn our attention to that. Ukraine's naval drones hit Russia's patrol boat Sergei Kotov at the Kerch Bridge. Sergei Kotov was built in 2021. So these ships just keep getting younger and younger, and it's really fascinating how many pretty new ships have just been sunk over the last few months. Okay, so what we know was that last night Kerch Bridge was shut down, and there would look like some kind of attack brewing. And I put something even out in my community saying, hey, look, there's something going on at the Kerch Bridge. Let's see what's going to be happening here. So maybe they were attacking the Kerch. Maybe the Kerch was a pretext for this. Maybe this was just a consolation prize when they couldn't actually get the Kerch. I'm not sure exactly what happened. So, but this patrol boat, which is nothing, no slouch, it's nothing to turn your nose at. I mean, it's not a huge ship, but it's something significant. As a result of the destruction of the Black Sea Fleet, patrol ship Sergei Kotov by Ukrainian forces, 7 crew members were killed and 6 more were injured, according to the report. Now that seems like a pretty small number. I will talk about why that's small in just a moment. On the night of March 5th, 2024, a special unit of the main intelligence agency with the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine's Group 13 attacked the patrol ship of the Russian Black Sea Fleet, Sergei Kotov. Let's look at the patrol ship and the size of it and what they carry and that sort of thing. Large patrol ships being constructed for the Russian Navy. The class's armaments include Caliber cruise missiles, AK-176 76.2 millimeter dual-purpose naval gun, aerosol camouflage, 2 grenade launchers, 2 machine guns. The class has a helicopter deck and a hangar for 1 Ka-27 or Ka-226 helicopter, a landing speedboat, and provisions for drones, underwater unmanned craft, and unmanned boats. There are accommodations for an additional 60 sailors. So there's accommodations for 60 sailors, but only 7 crew members were killed and 6 were injured, according to the report. But still, we started to see the memes about how the patrol boat was now promoted to submarine and that sort of thing. I'm going to do a full version report on this in my very next video, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, there's the boom. And let's shift our gears to one more story that I missed yesterday that I wanted to cover but just didn't have the bandwidth to cover. So this was 10 years ago. Facebook reminds me that it's 10 years since this scene at an air base in Crimea when unarmed Ukrainians marched toward Russian troops trying to stop them from taking over, carrying World War II Soviet victory banner to appeal to common sense of history, ultimately unsuccessful. So that's how they met Russians who came armed to take over their airbase. That's how. Mercado Media put this out there. Here's some video to go with that. You can just read the subtitles with me.
Commander Mamchur approached the Russians. It was an extraordinary confrontation between men who were friends last week and foes today.
Did you see that? This last little bit, Ukrainian soldier, America is with us. Hurts my heart when I consider what we're doing right now.
Советский флаг, мужики, советский флаг. Вы стрелять будете? Боевое знамя наше!
The Russians had humiliated the Ukrainian forces, and the Ukrainians weren't going to stand for it. The Russians aimed their weapons.
Переговоры будут, не вопрос. Остановите толпу, пускай ведут.
The officers talked. The Ukrainians didn't flinch.
Мы все военнослужащие, если
We're having a standoff for the benefit of one political leader. 2 fraternal nations at loggerheads. This is wrong. Okay, I'll leave you with that. Thank you for your time, and thank you for the likes and the shares and the subscribes, and thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine. I'll be talking about that newly minted Russian submarine in my very next video.